Today in Drive-Thru Kitchen, I'm doing the Filet-O-Fish. Yes, the classic. Love it or hate it. Don't know anybody that hates it. It's a beloved item. We're going to do this because they're charging an arm and a leg for these things. Fish don't even have arms and legs. They have fins. Okay, they're charging a fin and a flipper. I don't know. But we're going to do it better, faster, and cheaper. And think this through better. But I'm going to go into the history of this thing a little bit, show you how to do it. We're making the tartar sauce, doing everything. This is going to get you the Filet-O-Fish at home that you've been craving. And that's what we do here. So let's get started. Making the Filet-O-Fish in Drive-Thru Kitchen. Before we get started, perhaps you're not completely familiar with the history of the Filet-O-Fish. That's fine. Not everybody really cares about any of this stuff. This is a very fascinating thing. I'll just give you the Cliff Notes version. It started back in about 32 BC, I believe it was. A young male child was born in a manger in Bethlehem. So to make the tartar sauce, all we need is some mayonnaise, some dill pickle relish, some diced up onion here. White onion is great if you want to use yellow onion. I won't tell anybody. It's fine. Just dice it up as small as you can get it. I mean, it has to be in there. Don't mind that. That's for another thing. I didn't put it away yet. What? We got a little salt and pepper and a pinch of sugar because it's McDonald's. Everything comes with a side of beaties. All right. So we got some mayonnaise here. I'm sure Editor Me already has the full list of ingredients over here. Oh, wait, sorry. I'll move over so you can put it in there. All right. I'm making a smaller version because I'm only making one. How many sandwiches do you need? I don't know. Not that many. But this is a great tartar sauce. If you just want to use the store-bought tartar sauce, again, I won't tell anybody. Is it that much different? This is a very simple thing. There are all kinds of recipes out there that have capers and lemon and things. If you go to McDonald's and look up their nutritional information, allergy information, it's simple. It's really simple. It's mayonnaise, dill pickle. It's dill pickle relish, onion, this, and a little bit of parsley. I'll go over that in a second. Dill pickle relish. What do you think? Onions, not a lot. Again, you saw the actual measurements. Okay, a little bit of salt. Let's dice up the onions. Man, that's a really good onion because my eyes are going crazy. All right, a little bit of pepper because, ooh, yeah, it's got me going. All right, sugar, just a pinch. Seriously, in here, just a pinch. It's not much. Okay, slightly more. It's not much in there anyways, right? You saw the thing. Yeah. All right. Now, the last important ingredient in here that is absolutely in there that you need to put in here is parsley. So I'm going to put some invisible parsley in. It's in here. Trust me. There you go. I didn't run out of parsley. I didn't do that at all. If you can't find invisible parsley at the store, it is pretty hard to find. If you do, it's expensive. Can you imagine how hard it is to farm that stuff? Come on. Just use regular parsley. The parsley, of course, the invisible parsley has a very subtle flavor. It's very different than regular parsley. I prefer it. Yeah, it tastes like mayonnaise. Because it hasn't set up yet, all the flavors are going to meld. Put this in the fridge, cover it, put it in the fridge for like an hour, or overnight, or 3 days ahead. It'll be fun. That's it. Tartar sauce. Okay, if there's one thing I know about the internet is that it always agrees on everything. This is the perfect example of that. Oh man, there are a million different ways that everybody does this. I will say that mine is not entirely authentic because I'm going to use an egg wash on this to kind of get it, you know, the egg batter thing with it. Yeah, they don't do that. There's no egg in theirs whatsoever, but this is the easiest way and it's the best way and it turns out the best. And it's not a flour batter, it's not panko, it is just really fine breadcrumbs. Okay, let me just stop myself right there. We're just going to put some salt and pepper and a little bit of paprika on the egg. We're going to beat this up here really good. We're going to take our fish. Their fish is 3.5 by 3 inches. So I'm just kind of using my hand as a thing. Try not to cut your finger off. Just you know, roughly the size. It's perfect for this, and I laid the second one on it. Hey, give it a little cut. Boom, there you go. The fish is cut. We didn't need 20 minutes explaining the fish. It is cod, by the way, Alaskan cod. There you go. We put it in some flour. The flour is unseasoned. We put an egg, which has all of our flavorings and all of our seasonings in it right there. And then we're going to put it in our plain breadcrumbs, not panko and, not other things, not a batter. It's just this. Cover it in breadcrumbs, pack it down real good, make sure you got good coating. Flip it over. You're going to see some yellow parts of the egg coming through, and you're going to put more breadcrumbs on top of that. It's basically putting breadcrumbs on fish. Not terribly hard. I don't know why it took me 20 minutes. Okay, I'm going to do that one. And then these are going to go in the fridge for somewhere between 20 minutes and an hour. Something like that. You basically just kind of hydrate everything. It locks all the breadcrumbs in. The egg does its thing. And then we are going to deep fry these, but you do not have to deep fry this. Pan frying is actually probably better for this, but I have my deep fryer out. So come on, of course I'm going to use it. We'll go over that in a second. But for now, let's just go in the fridge. I got my deep fryer at about 350, and I'm just dropping these in individually so that they don't key into the basket. Gives them a second for the crust to start to harden up. Very important if you're doing like fish and chips, something with a batter. Oh yeah, they'll key like crazy. Now, these take about 2.5 minutes to get to this point, 3-ish maybe, and we are going to flip these over because when they start to float, the top isn't cooking as well. So just give them a flip and then cook them about another 45 seconds to a minute, something like that. By the way, if you're doing this in deep fryer, just know that it's going to destroy your oil. That fish is going to make it smell so bad. So pan frying is the best way to go with this. It really is. It doesn't really take that much longer, and it's not much harder, and you don't waste all that oil. There you go. All right, these things are cooked and ready to go. We've got our buns here that I made fresh, because always make your buns fresh, but you can buy these bags at the grocery store. They're fantastic for storing your hamburger buns. Always go the extra mile. All right, but I did steam these, and they are pillowy soft. I just took a vegetable steamer and pot and laid them around. And, oh yeah, that's authenticity right there. Speaking of authenticity, we're going to do this. Okay, we have a bottom bun. We have a little bit of our tartar sauce. We're tartar saucing. Yeah, I'm making 2 of these. I got 2 pieces of fish. Might as well make 2. There you go. All right. They use half a piece of cheese on this. Do you know why they use half a piece of cheese? It's not because they're cheap. It's because it's fish and cheese. Why? Come on, man. There, that's the little guy. He gets the littler one. That's the big guy. Gets the big one. It's fish and cheese. If you had a whole piece of cheese on there, it probably would not be very good. I'm just guessing it would not be very good. But this is going to be very, very good. I'm just going to move this ever so slightly that way, so we have a Filet-O-Fish smile, as they say, right? I want the right bun in the right... Oh yeah, that's much better. There we go. Oh, I'm learning about setting up thumbnails and stuff and making sure everything looks beautiful and perfect. Come on. Come on. Come on. It's thumbnail time. All right, folks. We are back from the thumbnail, and it is time to dig into this. It's your favorite part. It's my favorite part because I get to eat it. And you love it because you get to watch me eat. I don't know why. That seems important, though. But honestly, let's see how we did. We got the steamed buns. We got the tartar sauce on here that we made. We got half a piece of cheese. It smells like a McDonald's Filet-O-Fish. It really does. The steamed bun that we made fresh, we totally didn't use just a Wonder Bread hamburger bun. Yeah. Okay. That's enough talking. Going in. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? I could have been making that for years like that. Oh, why did I ever buy one of these? Oh. Do that. Do that. If you like the Filet-O-Fish, do that. Oh, yes, please. I'll have about 100. Thank God I made 2. I was going to share that one. No, that one's mine now. All right. Now you know how to make a fillet of fish. Like, for real, people. I love it. I'm going to go deal with my allergies so my eye stops leaking so much. And you go to the store and get some stuff because you got a fillet of fish to make. All right. See you back here next time on Drive-Thru Kitchen, where we're going to make something else super fun, super awesome, and super delicious, just like that thing. Thanks for watching this, and I'll see you next time.